This is sub 6. This is one of our main substations. It's been a long time in here. This is some of the 1940s era kind of stuff. We still use this to operate one of the mills, the 2-high, which we only used occasionally. As you can see, this is a big motor generator set. That's what they used to generate large amounts of DC before they had the electronics that would handle it. This is one of the main rectifiers. Here's our high voltage coming in. It's one of the main rectifiers. There's for our DC cranes. This is just a bunch of this old, like I said, 1940s, 50s era equipment. Now there's another rectifier, small one. We use that for the field on the synchronous motors that we use for air compressors. And there's about 5 or 6 substations just like this. Well, not as large, but just thought I'd make a quick tour just so I can remember. And also I'm going to show my dad, you know, hey, this is where I worked. This is, you know, what it was. And see, everything's locked out for storage. In here, where everything's been moved, all the valuable electronics been taken out, HMIs, PLC systems and whatnot. There's a rack of, here's our DC for our operating our switch gear in an emergency. If we lose power. I'm just going to go ahead and walk out here to the floor to one of the main 3 buildings. And here it is, silent. Everything echoes unbelievably loud in a place that's now so silent. This was the 4-high temper mill. You know, steel would go in that end, come out that end, after being subjected to thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of pressure. Like I said, it's a temper mill. You know, you run, I think about 5, 6, 7, 8,000 feet of steel a minute. Incredibly fast. Those are the cooling beds where the coils would come out of annealing. And, you know, they've turned off almost all the lights. Anything to save a penny. And looking down toward this end of the building. This is the second building over, looking down toward that end. And you might be saying to yourself, why does that end look so much better and newer? That's been cleaned up in preparation for a facility, a pipe threading facility they're considering bringing in here. Not in time to save any of our jobs, that's for sure, but hey, at least somebody might get called back, right? God knows it won't be me. And onto this third building. Looking back up toward the north, back down toward the south once again. It looks so much newer and better because, well, that's one of our few AC cranes. Used to use that to unload trucks. But, you know, this place is just bustling. I mean, these giant coil haulers coming around, the whole place filled with steel. And this was our system right here, which used to trap the exhaust coming off of the 4-high mill, because, you know, they realized, I don't know how many years ago, hey, people are getting respiratory cancer. Maybe we ought to try to mitigate some of this with sucking some of the fumes off. Like I said, these were our coil cooling beds. You know, you have these up to 40-ton coils of steel stacked. You know, stacked, you know, just full of steel. You know, 4 or 5 high, had this whole thing. And this is where the coils would come to cool off after annealing, which I'm walking toward. I'm walking south toward annealing. And once again, so dimly lit. So this camera's not good at shooting dimly lit stuff. So I'm just going to show you guys a little bit of the basement. I don't want to. I was going to put this on YouTube. I don't want to have to upload 25 videos. So I'm just going to keep rolling here. And this is high def, so it's taking up an enormous amount of space. So I can imagine being on my computer for a very long time, waiting for this to upload. But as I said, I'm walking toward a kneeling here, and basically it's just a bunch of furnaces. I mean, the roar and the stench of the steel cooking is just, you know, it's all silent now. All gone. There's no doubt in my mind that this will never ever come back. I mean, it's eerie. It's eerie. And these are the stainless steel cans that go under the ovens. And you set the ovens on top, steel inside, separated by these plates. And I'll give you guys more of an idea of where I did a lot of my work, which is down here, which is, of course, I would work on the furnaces, but also be down in these basements. And this is one of the areas where you think, okay, I could definitely see them turning this into a haunted house. This is just one of them. You know, down these corridors. And these are a large part of this has been active for a while. Some pump there, but all the N2H2 gas would be circulated by these stool motors, and you know, I'm going to try not to crack my head on one, but just very bleak. So these are the smaller version of the stool motors. And these aren't the real vicious ones. You can see them coming. I'll get those in a second. But you know, wiring and unwiring these things and checking them out. These have integrated cooling motors built into the base. A lot of our others have, you know, separate cooling motors. And this is a tunnel connecting this over to the next basement. And let's see here. Okay. And you know, sometimes it takes guts to come down here by yourself. I don't know whose idea it was to turn off the lights. We weren't supposed to. We're supposed to leave them on. But these are the ones you can really crack your head open on. I really do wonder who turned out the lights down here, because we were told to leave the lights on. But whatever. Some of these are not even supposed to be able to turn off because they're emergency lights. But whoever the knucklehead who decided to turn these off, the emergency lights would have died a long time ago. But, you know, it doesn't show up very well on this camera, but you can see down there in the distance, it's just rows, just very haunting. Just very haunting. And these are some of the bigger stool motors. These are primary head cracking height right here. I don't know how many times I've walked into one of these things. Thank God for my hard hat. But, you know, there's a little disconnect for the cooling motors. These have independent cooling motors. And I am not walking down there because, like I said, these things are perfect. These are perfect head cracking height. So, and here's all the natural gas lines that run down here. You have your N2H2 lines, and you know, this is where the functional part of cleaning the steel happened, circulating the N2H2 gas. First, it's got up to about 1500 degrees. But let me walk back here to the lighted side. This is just one basement. There's 3 or 4 major basements down here, and they're just, you know, down, you know, maybe 1,000 feet 2,000 feet of basements. And let me walk out of here. Try not to hit my head on anything. That would really suck at the very end. Be whacking my head on something. But here we go, back through here. And natural gas. And you know, and like a recurring nightmare, you know, the lights go out in here and you go to the door, but there isn't one. There is no door. And this is where it's kind of dangerous to work down here by yourself, because you know, if you crack your head, you like I said, on one of those motors, manage to knock yourself out, you know, eventually somebody's going to realize you're not here. But I wouldn't want to be one of the guys they're probably not going to have to work down here by themselves, but these guys are just going to be on a shift, just them. Anyway, it's just a heavy industrial space, and I don't know if you guys can just sense the age of this place, but it's been here for over 100 years. I'm not saying every part of it has, but this is the last time old U.S. Steel. It's the last days that it'll see. So just thought I'd take a quick walk around and just, you know, for my dad and my kids, just want to know, hey Dad, what did you do all those years? And wow, looks like they turned off the hot rails too. I guess they secured the hot rails. These are DC cranes, these big overhead cranes. No, they haven't. Yeah, they have. Those are overhead lights, these LED lights. I put those in. Help put all the retrofit all of these with these DC LED lights. So I guess the hot rails are off too. So that's good, because you waste power and rectification even if you don't use it. That's it. Stick a fork in it. It's over. And with that, signing off.